Hello, I'm Lyndon and this is Clara. Recently I've had a few conversations with other burner owners about their dogs being difficult on walks and pulling on lead, things like that. So I thought I'd put together a little video of the steps that I went through with Clara to make our walks really enjoyable and easy, to be honest. The first thing I really recommend is to have a think about what an easy, enjoyable walk looks like to you. What's your definition of an enjoyable walk? Think about who normally goes out with you, what kind of environment you live in, or where do you travel to, and be realistic about your time commitment in training and your abilities and your dog's personality, and think about, what you would like that to look like. Because I mainly walk her by myself, I wasn't concerned with her keeping a really secure heel. I don't mind what side of me she walks on if she wanders all over the footpath. The main criteria for us was that she is safe and that I'm not going to face plant on the footpath because she's obviously a lot stronger than me. So I wanted to make sure that I could train her to control her impulses so that if anything happens to me, if I fall over, if I drop the lead, she's going to be safe. She's not going to run out into traffic. She's not going to run off and get lost. And I'm not going to be injured. So once you've decided what an enjoyable walk is going to look like for you, it's really important to then be consistent. Every single time you take your dog out, have the exact same expectations and don't let them get away with behavior that is not working towards your goal. Be consistent and it will pay off. Promise you. Okay, let's get into it. Hey Clara, you ready to go for a walk? Yeah. Okay, first step is making sure that your dog is calm when you cross your threshold. Now, for us, this door opens to an entry hallway, not the outside, so we have an extra bit of safety. But she's not allowed to just rush out the door. If she did, I would bring her back again. Good girl, yes. You can do this obviously with the lead on, but make sure that your dog is calm. You should be able to open the door and have your dog stay calm. That's what you're aiming for. Then I will have a look to make sure it's safe and then give her permission. Through. Good girl. Now we're in our little entrance hallway and here we have the front door to the outside. Same thing. I open the door to have a look that it's safe. And she is not allowed to rush out. If she tries, I just shut the door and then we start again. I open the door and have a look and then I can say through. She also knows that she needs to wait at our little porch. I can have a look and make sure everything's safe for us to move off. And this has controlled her first impulse. Clara? All right, now put your lead on. You're a bit impatient. She's starting to pull a bit. So the first thing we can do when your dog starts to pull is just stop. Good girl. And wait until your dog gives you their attention. She's really good at this, but she's a bit impatient. There we go. She's impatient. She doesn't want to wait. Yes! Good girl. Now the other really good strategy when your dog starts to pull is to turn around and go the opposite direction. This way. Good girl. They would usually relax because they got a bit confused. When they're relaxed, you can go back the original way. Let's try this again. She's pulling. Freeze. And wait till she relaxes and gives me her attention. If you need to, give a little tug on the lead to remind them. Here we go. Yes, good girl. If they start to pull again, the other option is this way. Turn around and go the opposite direction. When they relax, you can head back the way you were going. And if they immediately start pulling again, turn around again. You might have to do this over and over again in the space of a few feet, but that's okay. They will get the message. They will learn. The key is your dog only gets what they want when they do what you want. The next step in impulse control while you're walking around the streets is when you have to cross the road. Every single time you get to a curb, you need to stop whether there's traffic or not. Get the dog to stop, ask them to sit. Good girl. Wait. Good girl, good wait. And they need to have a really secure wait. Good girl, wait. I'm asking her to wait and giving her a little tug on the lead, and she's resisting because I asked her to wait. Good girl, wait. I can give a little tug, but she knows I've asked her to wait, so that's what she has to do. Good girl, wait. When you're ready, you give the dog a cue to cross the road. They are not allowed to cross the road until they have permission. Cross. So every single time you get to a curb, whether there is traffic or not, ask your dog to sit and wait, and then choose a word that gives them permission to cross the road. They do not get to make any of those decisions for themselves. Let me test that one more time. Sit. Good girl. Wait. Okay, I'm going to show you how we test this now. So she's in a sit. I've asked her to wait. Clara, wait. Cross. Good girl. Another really useful tool to help your dog's impulse control is to practice stop and sit regularly. Come on. So that the dog learns every time you stop, they stop. Sit. Yes, good girl. Come along. I stop, she stops. Come along. I stop, she stops. It's really good practice for helping your dog to keep their attention on you. Keep checking in with what you're doing. Another really good tip. Yes. Every single time your dog chooses to give you their attention, try, yes, good girl. Try and acknowledge it. Yes. It doesn't have to be in a big way. You don't have to shower with them treats all the time. Sometimes when she looks at me, I just say hi. Hi. Try and always be reinforcing, hi, that choosing you is the best option. Coming up here, we've got a really good example of where impulse control is really important. We've got a median strip here and a busy road. Okay, so, Clara, sit. We have to cross this road in 2 stages, and the median strip is quite narrow, so I'm going to have to ask her to wait when we get to the median strip in case we can't cross all the way in one go. Cross. Wait. Good girl. Cross. Obviously keep a really, really short lead when you do something like that, so that you can give a little tug if necessary on the median strip, which I did need to do. She wanted to go straight across. It was a very small median strip. But she didn't pull, she waited. She's very good. Now we've switched over to the long lead. It's about 4.5, 5 meters long. This was a really important step in Clara's lead walking manners and general understanding of road rules, because she's still under control, but because it's a long lead, she has to make more of her own decisions, more of her own choices. I would let her walk to the end of the lead, and then she would feel the tug if she went too far. So she got used to what it felt like to be that far away from me, and that was her limit. And I could control if she went too close to the road. Good girl. And if she got to the end of the lead and didn't pay attention, then I could give her a tug if necessary, or just stop and wait. And then if she went too far away, she would need to come back around. Good girl. Oh, that was very good. Okay. Yes. Oh, she's coming back. She knows what I expect. Good girl. She only does this now because we practiced it so many times, where she would get to the end of the lead, not paying attention, and start to tug on the lead, and then I would call her back. Good girl, come around. She'd have to come around. Yes, good girl. And after a while, endless repetitions, she knew that's what I expected, and she would do it before I needed to ask for it. Oh, good girl. Good girl. Yes. Good girl. And when you want to cross the road, the same rules as when they're on a short lead. Of course, this is much easier in quiet side streets where you have lots of control. Good girl. Sit. Yes. Good waiting. Good girl. Do you have a cup for me? Cross. Good girl. Good cross. And the effect of using the long lead over and over again meant that she got very used to that amount of space from me. And so now, if she's off lead, good girl, she's much more in tune with where I am in relation to her. And she checks in with me regularly because she got used to me asking her to check in when she'd get to the end of the long lead, and I'd bring her back. So she learnt that that was expected. And so eventually she started doing it on her own. Good girl, walk on. The point of all this is always about keeping both of us safe. Because if she's on a short lead and still pulling, something happens to me, I fall over, I drop the lead. If she still has the impulse to pull, she's going to keep going. She might go into traffic, she might run off somewhere. So I need to make sure that she is in the habit of checking in with where I am and not going too far from me before she checks in. Yes, good girl. And that she's in the habit of coming back. So I hope that was a helpful rundown of the steps involved in working towards a really easy, enjoyable time walking your dog. We keep practicing, we keep reinforcing. We go this way? Which way? Okay. You will be rewarded 1,000-fold for the efforts you put in. So do let me know in the comments if you've got any questions or if you try these things out for yourself.